Where are we, Avery?
We're at Guzzo's house. I've seen a lot of things in my life. It's the first time I ever seen a real, true, live Italian cow.
What about the Broncos?
I tell you what, must be a sale on Broncos. Yeah. Gotta have something parked beside that G-Wagon, something that runs. That's why he's got Broncos and the G-Wagon's got snow on it.
How you guys doing?
Hey, how's it
Living the
going?
dream in our minds. How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Oh, just having a good day.
How's it going? Nice to see you. This is Avery.
Nice to meet
You
you.
bet.
I'm Angelo. I'm Vince's eldest.
Cool.
Pleasure to meet you.
You guys got a sale on Broncos outside or what?
On sorry, what? On Broncos? I think we utilized the sale they had for sure.
Yes.
How are you, my friend?
How are you doing? All right. It looks like you're a collector.
You look taller. No. Good job. What are you doing?
Enjoy
Good?
my day.
It's all right. So I hear you don't like my potholes around here.
I tell you what. Summertime come, you'll find a Toyota in one of them.
Man.
I look outside of your cars.
Yeah.
I see something that's
I'm
very
gonna head out
interesting.
though. Which one?
I see you got a G-Wagon with a bunch of snow on it, and then you have stuff that runs the Broncos.
No, there's no G-Wagon. That's a
Is it Defender?
vintage Defender.
What year is it?
Hey, shut the TV off. It's
Yeah, so
I'm gonna head out though.
legally, I think it's a, we'll see it, but I'm gonna tell you, it's gotta be played. It's gotta be the VIN number's gotta be at least 20 years old, right? Or else it can't be in the country.
Okay. I have a friend
Yeah.
that builds them aftermarket.
Yeah. So what I did was, I don't know if we can say this on air, but it's okay.
It's whatever. You'll have whatever out of it.
So, like this one, a hatchback that's also with a Celine engine inside.
Oh, nice.
It's
like
like-
Celine Performance.
Yeah, like the Mustang.
Okay. Yeah, Celine. Yeah, I know who that. Yeah. They built.
Yeah.
You don't hear much about them guys anymore.
No, it's like the guys. What are they called? The guys that used to do the Cobras, right?
Yeah.
They sort of disappeared
Yeah.
and then they come back, and then depending on if they get a buyer.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Where did you get the Italian cow from?
I bought the cow white and I painted it. And it
made it Italian.
But yeah, that's what that is. If you want, we can go see the other cars.
Well, the one thing I forgot to say, Avery, is that Vince is a massive car guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I would have never guessed he was a car guy. Look at you're a collector of artifacts.
Yeah, you see, look, I got those. That's the Kiss. I'm waiting for Gene Simmons to come. He's good friends with Ravinder Minhas. He does. They do the vodka for him. The money bag vodka.
Yes.
So when he's coming into Montreal, I'll get him to. We'll take it down and we'll get him to sign it. A lot of these come from different movies.
Oh, that's very interesting.
And everything. Yeah, that was. So this is all new stuff. Even here, right? I used to have a painting here, and then I changed this. I put on this the pictures, family pictures, and everything, and so we make it more
very nice.
conducive. Yeah, I don't know. It's a great.
You got a lot of things.
Yeah. The only thing we still need to do is we need to renovate the. I need to renovate what's it called the kitchen. But I just came back from Toronto, so I got a bit of a mess all over the place. Let me just move this over. What?
Hey, that's interesting. Now, why did you buy that jerry can?
Because somebody told me it goes really well with my Defender, and I said, yeah, I agree with you. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it on the Defender in the U.S. that I have. Bought that from a website. It's called Uncrate. A really cool website. They come up with these like the last minute cool stuff and everything.
See, this is a jerry can, but it's not a true German jerry can.
How do you
That's
know?
because I know.
I don't know.
See where the seam is right here? How it's
Right.
there? The seam should be indented.
Oh, okay.
There is, if you want to see something interesting.
Right.
this is gonna happen a lot, Avery. By the way, the phone
fine.
calls.
Yeah, but it's okay. Clear.
The jerry can
Yeah.
is a very interesting thing. They say that it was instrumental in winning the war.
It was?
Yeah.
I thought it was the
No.
The Oppenheimer project or the Manhattan project. They won that
The
war.
biggest problem they had.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Hey,
eBay.
somebody even dented. No, that's somebody here who dented it.
They had a problem with fuel storage back in the day in the 40s.
Right.
Okay, their jerry cans were all square. And they would throw them around and they would hit a corner and they would rip the seam open and all the fuel would leak out. Yeah. So there's several problems. This jerry can has a whole bunch of stuff built into it that you would never realize. You see back here?
Yeah.
That's an expansion air chamber. See, that's a Phillip over here?
One of my guys was telling me
Yeah, it's got an expansion air chamber right there. See the handhills right here? Oh, it's got 3 things. You go, that looks really nice, right? Okay. Me and you were packing this jerry can. Grab your hand in there.
Yeah.
Like this. We're packing that jerry can together. We can pack it together and go down the road with it so it's not heavy and have 3 of them. Or we can pack it in the middle by ourselves.
Right. I get it.
Okay. Now the seams in the middle here are indented usually further. So when you drop it down, it doesn't split the seam.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh, so they're inside, you're saying,
They're
instead
inside,
of coming out.
Yeah, they're inside. They're a little bit inside deeper
Okay.
for the real ones.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the design on the other side here is for strength. And they all stack in a neat, orderly fashion. But the biggest thing is you can take this can and you can chuck it and it'll fall and hit in the corners and it won't break. It won't split the seams anywhere on it.
Okay, get it.
It was very interesting. If you read the story, the little bit I read about it, the guys were taking a tour over there in the day driving across, I don't know, some foreign country over there. They pirated 3 jerry cans back on their vehicle and they took the pattern off of them and they started designing them in the US, maybe, and they built them the same as the jerry can of the German jerry can. Hence, jerry can being a jerry.
Right, I get it.
But it's very interesting. That's just a little bit of the history of it. It's really interesting. The pour spout, all that is very, very interesting.
I have another one. I don't know if it's an original or if it's like this, a knockoff of it. That's a Supreme one, but it's at my office down at next to the theater.
For something so absolutely that you would
basic.
Never, but again, the biggest problem they had was transportation of fuel. And they would throw them cans around and they would get dent and all fuel leak out of them.
See, in the Hamptons, when I see the kids with those things, it ain't gas in it. It's vodka. And they bring it to the beach.
Now, in saying that, back in the day, there's a small jerry can about this big.
Right.
Okay? And back in France, they used to have wine in them.
Okay, well, see, that's the one I have in the Supreme size.
It's about this big.
Yeah, it's half the size.
Half the size, and that is legitimate. They used to store alcohol, wine in them.
Right.
I just learned that the other day when I was in the U.S. going through a guy's bunch of his junk.
Right.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, no, but I know because one of my kids washed it out. I forget how many times he rinsed it out, the one that we have in the Hamptons. I go, what are you doing? I'm rinsing it. Well, who cares? You're putting gas in there. Well, not really. And then he finally told me they were putting vodka inside. But he had all, like he was making sure there was no residue, nothing left. He didn't want any.
Well, the vodka will kill it.
Yeah, vodka. I know, but he didn't want the vodka to be part of the whatever was residue in there to be part of the vodka afterwards, right? So that's why he re-rinsed it maybe at least 100 times. Like I was like,
but it's very interesting how something so simple that you take for granted has such a history behind it.
Yeah.
But then back to the other thing, they had no way of packing fuel because their fuel storage would all get wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Anyways, something.
It's funny because I don't think we're allowed to drive with one of those on our cars anymore. Like, all of the guys who have the Defenders or whatever, and they have these things on the back just for aesthetics. Do you guys want to go see the other cars?
Let's go take a gander at them.
But let me put one of my... pretend that I'm not going to be cold. I don't even know what I have in the small garage right now.
Where do you keep it? You keep it somewhere else?
I keep them at. I have a condo downtown at the chateau.
Yeah.
And I have eight parking spaces. That I move all of my cars there during all of the sports cars.
Oh, Ferrari?
Yeah, all of the Ferraris. But here I think I got 2 Ferraris. I think I got the Rolls over there or something. And I got a few. I got some of my dad's cars and everything. And see, that's the 90. That's the 110, and I got a white 130, which is for the white.
Land Rover Defender. How are they?
No. These are amazing. No. These are amazing. And you know what? The small one, both of them are V8s. So the small one.
Now I gotta ask.
Yeah.
What's with the Broncos? You got a few of them.
So the kids all drive Broncos, the problem was that then I had a black one for me, a white one for the wife in the Hamptons, but I left him here. The red one is for my third son, but I don't know why he's delaying on getting his license. As if he likes spending my Uber money or something.
Yeah, well.
I don't know what the hell it is. You know, but, let's I gotta get on the other side. Well, there's too much snow in this.
Yeah, my friend reproduces these bodies, eh?
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
But more than the bodies, you know, the real problem with this thing is that the old engine is a piece of
you want, hey, if you, I like it.
See, this is how you store cars.
Is that an electric car?
That's an electric car. This is a hybrid. So this is half, I think...
It's a half a Ferrari is what you're telling me.
No, this is actually a V6.
It's a half a Ferrari.
No, listen, it's a V6, which means it's the I guess the redesigned version of the Dino.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, yeah.
But now what they did is they put 30 kilometers electric at the beginning, right? So you know the story with Ferrari, right?
I know, I don't.
Okay, so these guys are the most funny guys in the world. When I went to Bologna once, I was invited to buy an Enzo. I think it was an Enzo or it was LaFerrari, which was the first hybrid car Ferrari did. So the first 750 horsepower is gas. And then after that 750, there's 150 electric. So here I am and I'm thinking about this and I says, wait up a minute. Why is the electric after the gas? Like, isn't it before the gas? No. So I gotta use first the 750 gas horsepower. When I'm about to kill myself, the electric will kick in and add another 150. I said, but why are you guys doing that? Just because they have to meet the European requirements to have a first hybrid car, right? So that's how they did it. Most of the guys bought the cars and took out the batteries to make it lighter and whatever afterwards because they never got to needing the extra 150. This one instead, the first 30 kilometers could be high. So when I put the car on, it goes on electric. Then I got to touch a button to go gas. It will recharge itself as I brake, as I accelerate or whatever.
Interesting.
Right? But it's the first of that.
Is there a lot? There can't be very many of these around.
No, it's a pretty. Well, I was going to say it's a pretty standard. It's one of the regular production cars. Let's put it that way. It's not like it's not a VIP. You know, you got to be on the list, and it's sort of one of those selected things. The fact that I got it as early as I got it, yes, it makes it that it's rare. But and this is a Roma, and what's particular about this is that this car was not supposed to come in red. This was the car to compete Aston Martin. So they wanted any color but red.
You know what?
And then I got upset and I told them, if you don't make it in red, keep the car. I don't want the car. And then they made it in red, and then everybody liked it and said, why wouldn't
you want to know something? This car does have lines like an Aston Martin almost.
It's a four-seater. It's
It does lines like an Aston Martin.
Yeah.
I like Aston Martins. Yeah.
I don't like Aston. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've always adored Aston Martins. The problem is the rare times that I tried to buy one, it was when I was over 300 pounds. And so every time I got into the car, it was a headache.
How did you lose weight?
I actually had an esophagus surgery and I had all kinds of stomach problems and everything. And so a lot of...
I tell you what, I got an eating problem myself.
Yeah, it's not eating, it's the stress.
I tell you what,
stress.
the other question I'm really curious about, why do you have an elephant with your Ferraris?
So there's an elephant, so there's a donkey on the other side.
Look at there he is too,
Yeah, there's a donkey on the other side, and this was when I wanted to be funny, and I bought the house in the Hamptons in 2015. So I bought the cow, and I bought these, and these came like this, and that was for the U.S. election, the first election.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty gold.
Then I got that desk here, like this. I don't know why this became a storage area all of a sudden. I mean, one of my cars should be here. That's my, what's that show called? The 2.5 Men desk. That's the same desk as in 2.5 Men. That's actually cool.
Okay.
Why is it here? I'm going to get it brought back in the house.
That's, what's his name there? The guy's like, they ask him.
What's his name? Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
The original.
Yeah, his kind of, I like how he shut the media down. He asked him, do you like prostitutes? He goes, yeah, I like them very much. He says, you pay them and they go home. And I got 2 pets, Bunny and whatever. Yeah, the one's 25, the other one's 24.
That's right. It's great. And for that, but look, you know, he's actually a character. Right? He's like a real character. And it's funny because he's totally the opposite of his dad and totally the opposite of his brother. And his brother's Emilio Estevez.
Yes.
Totally different personalities, totally different kind of guys. But amazing. Yeah, so
that's very interesting. I was unaware of the fact. Well, mind you, we're only they're very beautiful looking. I love the style and the design of them.
yeah.
I was lucky enough here the other day. To see a couple 250 Californians in mint shape.
The old one.
The guys had two mint 250 Californians in mint shape.
That's rare.
I tell you what, 2 of them. And then he had, up on top, he had a genuine Le Mans GT40 Ford. He had 3 Enzo Ferraris in there. Kind of a weird car, the Enzo Ferrari.
Whose collection was that? Was that Lawrence Stroll's?
I don't know what his name is.
Might be Lawrence Stroll's.
That was R&M Auto Refinishing in Chatham, Ontario.
Oh, so then it's...
And then he had a bunch of other stuff in there. A bunch of Bugattis.
Yeah.
And a Gullwing Mercedes. And they were doing some other French car. I don't know what it was, but it was fairly expensive. It was
I know that
aluminum.
I know I was in the UK in 2022, during the summer of 2022, and they were taking old 360s and converting them to electric with Tesla engines and making them fully electric Ferraris. It's like, I mean, I wouldn't spend that kind of money for it, but you know, it was.
I'm still having a hard time putting electric and Ferrari together myself personally, but anyways, it is what it is, I guess.
Look, you know, the old president of Fiat, Marchioni, the guy who was from Toronto.
Okay.
Right? He came to Quebec once and he made a speech and he said, electric cars will only work in Quebec because you guys have so much electricity that it doesn't cost anything. You know that in Italy, for example, hydroelectricity costs more than gas. It's cheaper to heat your home with gas than it is hydroelectricity.
The problem is, when the sun goes behind the cloud, you can't drive them anywhere. The battery dies.
Not only that, even now, the battery would die because of the cold.
That's what I'm just saying.
Right? And so,
yes.
But that, it's not even a question of, for example, if this car was fully charged and it was parked outside, the battery would lose its strength just by being outside, the cold and whatever, right? So it's not, it's a novel approach. That, you know, I'm not convinced 100% yet that electric's going to stay, especially now that they're talking about the hydrogen stuff.
I tell you what.
So
the problem I have with it is there's a couple problems. You know, as bad as this may sound, if you ever wanted to do a terrorist act, go get 3 Teslas and put them together under a building and light them on fire. You're not going to put them out. They catch on fire. You're not putting them out. You got a goddamn. You're traveling around in essentially in kind of a sort of semi-fire hazard bomb.
Yeah, no. It's and then the other problem is nobody, look, we only think about the short term. So we're saying, okay, see, there's no exhaust, there's no this and that. Okay, but what happens when I got to change the battery? What are we doing with all of that?
My friend, where does the battery come from?
That's
hey, the power grid.
That's exactly
the power grid in Calgary, in Edmonton. They're having warnings: do not plug your toaster in.
I don't know.
You know,
crazy.
and they want, you know. I'm just again. Anyways, you got some cool stuff.
Yeah. And I have more at the at the condo downtown. I have my dad's cars. I got my cars. You know, so it's a lot of.
Here's a question: what kind of vehicle do you like?
It depends. Look, I love the Defenders. I used to drive G-Wagons. So I have too old. I have 2 G65s.
Okay.
So the V12 engine, everything. I'm probably never going to get rid of those because the engine's so big and.
What are you laughing about over there?
He's got my girlfriend over there. He wants to, hey?
Yeah. That was my, that's my estranged wife with, when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
You notice the dollar signs right next to it, eh?
10 minutes.
Well, but I tell you what, though,
huh?
hey, but there's a couple other you didn't invest in either that are worth nothing.
Yeah, I know, but you only remember the good ones, right? It's those girlfriends that could have been, that didn't happen. That's the ones you remember.
One missed is one you'll never get.
That's right. That's right.
Fat, skinny, or tall.
Where's the legislation? Like my daughter's invention with the car. She goes, I want to do the carpet. I go, what carpet?
Is that to me?
So this is my daughter's invention. She wanted to do the carpet. I go, where's the carpet? This is her carpet. Like that. It's just it's her artistic. It's the artistic. Here, I'm going to show you the pata negra that they ruined for me.
Yeah, let's see this ham. I'll take a hunk of it,
Unbelievable. They ruined it for me. Look, they killed it. See this, and you're supposed to put the fat next to it after, just to keep the food moist. So you're supposed to. Let me see if I can't do the other side. Can I do? Yeah, I'll probably do the other side. Wait a sec. Let me show you how to do this. Wow. There we go. Let me go like this. It's easier if I do it this way.
Avery, what do you think? Avery,
It's different.
So normally, what they're supposed to have done is taken this fat here, right?
Get rid of it.
No. You take it, right, and you sort of you use it to keep this
put it on there
meat
to keep it
moist.
fresh.
Yeah, to keep it moist. But what they did is they didn't do that, so now it's all dry. But
I'm really curious about something.
what?
What the f worth that hunk of meat?
$1,800, I think. But it's like huge, right? Look, it goes, so we ate all of this and whatever, right? So normally we would put this here, and this would be all moist.
Yeah, it looks like it's fairly dry.
Yeah, now it's dry, right? But try that with the fat and all. See how sweet it is? Are you getting the sweetness yet, or you're not?
It's different.
Yeah, it's not like prosciutto. Prosciutto's salty, right? This is not.
Yeah, it is.
This-
I can taste the sweetness now.
That's right. This is sweet.
It is.
Yeah, very sweet. And this is normally you cut it this way, pieces like this. Cheers. Right? And the sweetness in the fat and everything. Oh.
I've never seen that before, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like when we eat this, sometimes we get here like, at 2 a.m. where, got a binge. So, most people call McDonald's or whatever when they have a binge.
And you just pull out your $1,800 ham
That's
leg and
right.
start chopping on
It
it.
stays here all the time, and they left it out. But that's what it's supposed to be, yeah?
If you're drunk doing that, you can lose a finger.
But that's why I got my hand here. Right?
Hey, you can hold over there, you lose a finger.
That's right. That's the problem with this, right?
Now you know why your ex-wife died of slashed wrists.
That's there we go. But so this should go here like this,
Nice.
right? And it melts, and it stays there. All right, and then we use this for the dog. See the leftovers are here,
Okay.
and we give that to my dog. Right, and we throw that to him. Right, so it's very. First of all, I was wondering this thing was too close.
The long-legged pig.
The pata negra
What's that?
means black paw.
Okay. My mother would be coming over here making soup out of that.
My dog loves it. Don't worry about it. My dog. Oh. Take it. See him? The other side. Look at it.
Show me the camera. No, other side.
Oh yes, I see.
See, look.
It.
See, look at it. It's all like.
Yes.
It's all all fatty now, right? Because now we're getting under the dry.
Vince, I got news for you.
What?
An expensive beef jerky, but
Right.
it's good.
But it's good though, huh? You
Right,
see?
it's good.
Look at that. Try this. This is now you're getting to the way it should really taste. I've had my.
Oh, you got a meal. That's good.
Yeah. No, it's not a miele.
What is
it's
it?
an espresso miele. It's
It's good, bad, or indifferent.
I just don't have to bother with the whole problem of the regular coffee, the espresso coffee.
It's a little fun to do. I see you experience stainless steel, eh?
Yeah, I experienced the fact that somebody put this thing here and put it at the wrong place, and it still hits this. Yeah, because we have to open 180 degrees, right, to go into the 90-degree opening. I don't understand. Sugar no. Whoa! Sugar no sugar.
Yeah. Take it like a professional.
Sugar.
It's sweet enough.
Look at that. Gosh, I'm gonna go. Oh, it's okay, no problem. So there. Barista.
I gotta wake up. I gotta go to work.
Ah, yeah.
What do you do?
I run his restaurants. Julieta restaurant.
How does that work out for you?
It's going well, actually.
Did they give you No. You know what my kid tells me? He goes, Dad, I love you, but you can go yourself. I'm not working for you anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I can tell him no.
25.
I'll show you my sneaker collection.
Holy
My sneaker collection.
Do you?
Well, I mean, I have a sneaker collection that I made into a piece of art. That's what's cool about it.
I have a rubber boot collection that's a plastic waste site.
So I inspired myself from a store, from a New York store. That's mine. Some are Balenciagas.
I can do that with my rubber boots. You don't know anybody at Dunlop, do you?
Actually, I think I do. Why?
Tell them to start sending me some rubber boots. I give them enough love.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I wear rubber boots and everything.
Okay. All right, we'll get you that. We'll get you that.
Fucking right.
See, so this is my collection. I like.
It's something I know absolutely nothing about.
2-3 inches to my
To what?
My stature.
Fits on there?
to my stature.
Oh, your stature.
Yeah, yeah. You know, so this is so you're talking about.
Now tell me, I'm just out of curiosity,
Yeah.
not to be materialistic or anything, but what's this pair of shoes worth?
$1,500.
No!
Yeah, that's a special edition. That's a Balenciaga Adidas. I like, eh? Like, you don't know this, but this is actually a woman's shoe at 42, but it fits me perfectly fine because I'm a 42.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I'm an
Shoe
eight.
size. Come on. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
Focus. ADD. No. See, even this is wrong.
So I'm out of curiosity. Let me,
This is wrong too. Try that. What? Why would you buy all these shoes?
no, that's not the question I was going to ask.
All right.
Most expensive pair?
No.
Which one? Brown ones.
Probably no.
No.
Probably yeah. Maybe
This right here.
one.
This
This
is-
one or this one.
This is the first choice I actually had, but it looked too
It's
plain.
one of these three.
But yeah.
But it's because it's real leather and the whole.
Nope.
Yeah, like it's a. This is like rubber. Like this is a collab with Croc. Croc. Croc's a Canadian company, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is.
They're dangerous on asphalt or concrete.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I think they're
Yeah.
a Canadian company, right? So that's.
Now I noticed something. Them shoes you're wearing,
Are open in the back. They're
Yeah,
mules.
why?
They're mules.
is that what they're called?
Yeah, these are mules.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. These are mules. This is like, this is like sort of like a slipper, an outdoor slipper.
Okay.
Right. So it's one of those.
No, these are all the same brand I see.
They're all Balenciagas. But like I said, collabs, right? So that's a collab with Adidas. That's a collab with Croc. Then they came out with the mules.
Interesting. Where's that company from?
Italian, man.
It's
gotta
Mamma
be
Mia.
Italian.
It's a Mamma Mia. Eh?
It's Italian.
It's a made in
It's
Italy.
all about
It's
made
a
in
made-
Italy.
Made in Italy.
It is made in Italy.
Made in
That's
Italy.
it. Stan, and see, this is my new garden here. No pot.
Why not?
We don't grow weed.
Why not?
Because I'm anti-pot.
Are you?
Yeah. I don't want anything to calm me down. I want only things to excite me. I don't want to be
That
mellow.
looks kind of like a weed plant.
No, those are the ones that look like they're dying. They're not weed plants. They're actually.
They're actually done.
No. What are they called? Those Christmas plants. They're
Even back yet.
the red ones. They're the ones that everybody.
Did you know something about that plant?
Yeah,
I
what?
do believe that plant. You know that it's highly poisonous?
Is it?
It's f***ing deadly.
For who?
If you eat that f***ing
Well,
leaf.
why would I want to eat a plant?
I'm just telling you.
I don't want to smoke it. Why am I going to eat it?
Well, if you eat the f***ing thing's poisonous.
I don't want to eat it.
I'm just telling you.
Don't you like that when people say like, I can't believe you have that? If
Well, everybody
if you,
has
If you eat that, you can die from it. But why would I eat that?
I'm just telling you it's poisonous.
Like, or somebody was look at all my. See, these are all old candles.
Where?
That these glasses. They're all candles.
Oh, that's just
Right.
your extra coffee
And
cups.
that's
in your gun.
that's the evil eye, right? To keep the evil eye away. So everybody was saying, but they're not soya. What about it? They're not soya. Like if the other candles made out of petroleum product is bad for you. Seriously, man, what the fuck?
How do you know that soy is not bad for you?
It is bad if you're a woman. It actually increases your chance of breast cancer. Soya is horrible. In
I
fact,
know-
if you have
I tell you what.
if you've had breast cancer, you can't have.
I tell you what,
What?
it's bad for wiring. They put all kinds of weird shit in there. The mice like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Soya wiring, and just the mice just eat it.
But why are they? I guess they're just using
I know. It's environmentally safe.
biodegradable crap and everything. Is that it? That's see, and this was my bear brick. These are called bear bricks. So these are roughly worth, depending on if there's any limited editions or whatever. These are roughly worth anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 each.
Interesting. Now, what are they? Is that Chinese, Japanese?
It's a Japanese or Asian. Let's call it Asian because I don't know.
Well, Asian's f***ed up, but Asia.
No,
that's the
but
mis-
it's probably Japanese.
Asia is also Russia.
Is it?
Yeah.
Isn't that Eurasia?
Asia is the whole planet. It's the whole place over there.
I don't know.
It's all weird how we think. But anyways, I think.
Anyway, so this is so it's from there. It's their traditional toy or whatever,
It's cool.
Sort of so they make it in 3 sizes.
It looks like a Pez dispenser.
Who?
Pez.
No, that one does because of the brand. That's Palladium.
Okay.
That's a collab with Palladium. See, that's the movie. What's it called? Nightmare Before Christmas. That's Tom and Jerry, Superman. That's something your age. What's it called?
Chewbacca.
No. The guy there with the eye. The guy right.
Where?
Clockwork Orange.
I never watched that show.
It's not a show. It's a movie.
I never watched it.
You never watched it?
Too young.
What are you talking about?
I grew up in the middle of nowhere. I never had television.
you have to watch
I never had. I had one channel.
Clockwork Orange.
Never watched it.
Yeah, it's seriously it's that movie and another one called the 100 Days of
Behind the
Salam
Green
or
Door.
something. No, they're crazy. It's like
You watch Never Seen Behind the
when
Green
you
Door?
watch those movies, you ask yourself, the guy who came up with the story, how crazy is he? Like what kind of psychopath is he? It's like crazy.
I tell you what. I tell you what. I grew up fairly interesting. I grew up without any running water.
Seriously?
Oh yeah. I grew up no running water. No indoor plumbing. Yes.
In Canada?
Yes.
Where?
Out in the farm. I remember waking up in the morning.
So what? You'd go to the well, I guess, and get.
No fucking well.
So how did you get water?
Wintertime, melted snow. Straight fucking goods. Straight fucking goods.
And how did you filter?
Didn't. The fell to the bottom of the barrel. Out of the outskirts of Cecil Lake, a place called Cecil Lake in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Back in the day. And we grew up genuine hillbillies. And my mother was a hunter. I'm not too much of a hunter, but my mother would think of nothing of sticking the old 30-06 out the window of the house and blowing a deer away in the field.
Yeah, but I don't get it.
What part don't you get? No running water. No indoor
it's the
plumbing.
no running water thing that I'm not like.
Well, no. We had running water. You go outside in the wintertime was kind of nice because you had snow.
And today?
We got power. We got running water today.
So where'd you get your water from?
When? Back then?
Yeah.
In wintertime, snow.
And in the summer?
Creek.
That must
Had a water barrel.
have been amazing.
Yeah. Take a 5-gallon pail in the wintertime in the house. Summertime, outhouse outside. Like a ring around your ass and sitting on the 5-gallon pail. You didn't sit on it too long. Straight goods. Yes. Wake up in the morning, the wash basin on the counter sometimes froze. When do you come to visit?
Probably never. Probably not, like, really?
No, seriously, I grew up like that for many
Oh,
years.
I'm serious too. I'm not coming and visit there. I'll come to your shop, but I ain't coming and visit there. Why would I want? That's like you telling me come camping. What the hell would I want to go camping for?
I hate camping.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't go camping.
I don't either.
I don't
I grew up
go up
camping.
for
I
that.
camp all. I don't need to camp anymore. I don't need the experience.
I can't. When did they get running water in that area?
Well, it's not the area probably when you drill a well and find it and put a well in.
Okay, so it's still not city running water. It's like well water.
If you had a well, yes.
But why? I don't get it. Like I'm like why?
What part do you get? Why is no running water?
It's Canada, man. Like we have water everywhere.
Oh, my mother's just cheap, I guess. We grew up with nothing.
Yeah, but
We grew up, my friend, we grew up dirt poor.
I know, but I don't get it. I just don't get it.
My mother was a bit of a hustler, and yeah, she made a couple bucks on the side. Thanks, Mom. My mother is fairly driven, like really driven.
Right.
Okay, so she pulled us out of poverty. of having out on, we have a genuine, I guess it would be, what am I looking for? Look at that. That's, we had genuine homesteads. You know, you hear about a homestead?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Genuine. My mother did the paperwork and we had a genuine homestead. You go out, the government gives you a piece of land, you go out there and you clear a certain amount of it, you do a certain amount of upkeep on it, cut some trees down, and when you do that, they give you the land.
Yeah.
That's how we got our first piece of property.
Where did you go to school?
A place called Clairview.
Yeah, and they had running water.
Yes, they did.
And how come you didn't have running water in the house?
No money.
What do you mean no money?
No money!
How far was the school from the farm?
Just about a 2-hour bus ride. Hour and a half each way, 3 hours every day. Hour and a half there, hour and a half back. About 60 kilometers.
And you didn't think of just saying, Ma, I'm staying here. I'm not coming back. There's running water here.
Well, where are you going to live? It doesn't work like that.
In the library. Do like my son who's at NYU sleeps in the library.
I tell you what, I had too many late books. They wouldn't let me in there.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
When? Like in the what? In the 70s, the 80s? What?
70s. My mother one day, like I say, one day we had a bunch of cows. My mother worked in the oil industry as a camp cook for years. We had a bunch of cows. My mother one day decided to go into business. She loaded all the cows up, phoned a freight Cataliner, come load it up. I think we had 50 head. Sold all the cows, happened to get a very good price from them, took the down payment, and went and bought some Atco trailers and rented them out to the oil industry and brought us out of the coals up onto the top.
How many kids?
Me.
Just you?
Yeah.
And the old man?
No, well, kind of, sort of. I've had several fathers throughout the course of my life.
All right.
Yeah. But hell, I looked after the whole farm when I was in
So you're an only child?
Yes. I looked
Like
after
me?
Yes. I looked
Up, actually.
it is and it isn't. I looked after the whole
It is because now you got the weight of it all, right? I mean,
You have no idea.
I have both of them. I
Yeah.
still have both parents.
Just one.
No oil under that farm.
Yes, there is oil wells on it, but we don't have the mineral rights. In Alberta, you used to have mineral rights
Right.
and get money. In BC, they don't have, it's not the same as in Alberta, but you don't have mineral rights in Alberta anymore either on 95% of the property. But yeah, that's what kind of, yeah. I
That's
tell you
crazy.
what, my mother, think nothing, my mother's a good butcher. Think nothing, going out whacking a deer, just,
No, the reason why I'm saying this is because I went back to Italy not too long ago, and my dad bought his ancestral home, the home that he grew up in. And he put in the bathroom, like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that means that till 10 years ago, in this 1,500 town, 1,500 people town, there was still a home there with no bathroom inside, right? But it's on top of a mountain. It's a complete. But Canada, like,
when I got babysat, my babysitter, when they dropped me off, their house had a dirt floor in it.
seriously?
Dead f***ing serious. They had a dirt floor in their house. Right on the riverbanks. Beaten River.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that doesn't not very often. Like I've only been one house. They only had that for, I don't know, not that many years, but they had a dirt floor in their house.
But I wonder if there's still people that live like that.
Yes.
In Canada.
I can guarantee you there is. Not very many, but there probably still is.
So why don't we buy these houses?
And put bathrooms in them.
No. Take all of the kids from Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, and ship them there for the summer. And make them live in that for a while. And then they could tell me how I should be living my life. Once because I mean, look, it's a bit of a running gag. Every time I open a theater, for some reason, somebody comes up to me and says, hi, very nice theater. Do you have bathrooms? Like, no, I just spent $20 million to build a theater. I got no bathrooms. You got to go outside and pee, right? So the question is, where are the bathrooms? But because they're allophones, and because it's like saying,
Do you have any bathrooms? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any bathrooms? Yeah, we do. But to think that
Yes.
To think a guy that's younger than me, because you're younger than me.
No, I'm older than you.
How old are you?
58.
Oh, you are older than me. You're an old geezer then. I'm
Fucking
54. I'm 55 this year. I'm going to be 55. So you're okay. So still, you're my age. Let's put it that way. You're my age.
I tell you what, it's very
Grew up in a
it's very uncommon for somebody our age, my age, to grow up like that. Very, very uncommon. The big deal is when I was really young, till I do believe that we moved closer to town for power when I started grade 1, because we had no power. We had no power, no electricity, no power. I tell you what, I can still show you how to clean a lamp, the globe, coil a lamp with the wick, trim the wick, turn it up.
No, I get it. No, look. I mean, look. When my dad bought his first theater, we used to have welders' rods.
Yeah.
That we used to spark to create the light to project.
It's called a carbon arc bulb.
Yeah, that's right.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, that's why you weren't. That's why you had. So, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm the one who got the qualifications or certification for projectionists removed, because back in the days you had to have a certification like
a carbon arc.
Yeah, like
The
an
carbon
electrician or whatever.
You know what? I've only ever seen in an old theater back at home.
Yeah.
They had them carbon arc projectors in there, and I've only ever seen them once.
Yeah, we used
in
to
my
have
life.
two. So there used to be two of them per auditorium, right? So you could put your every 15 minutes of the movie reel. You would go, and then you would you'd sit there looking at it. You had the changeover, and you'd flip, and
Now here's the thing.
Yeah.
Them 3 dots when you're watching, they don't have that anymore, do they?
No, because those 3
They're the
dots,
timing dots, were they not?
No, those 3 dots were the signal that you would know. So on screen, it would be the signal of when the changeover had to be.
Okay.
Projector 1 to 2. But it was also when you checked the movie and you had to. So we used to what they used to call splice them together. So
Yes,
you used to take
the splicer on there, yeah.
So that's when you knew that the beginning and the end of the reel was with those 3 dots.
I still remember it. The theater.
You would see it.
No.
Yeah.
Stop burn a hole in the
That's right. If it stopped, it got burned.
Burn a fucking hole in it.
And the problem was that 35 millimeter film back in the days was made out of petroleum products, so it would flame right away. Now it's nylon, or actually not now.
It's probably
10 years ago it was nylon, and now it's all digital. Now we don't even have film anymore.
Well, you just have the guy in the theater spliced them.
Yeah,
It's quite interesting.
Yeah, and the joke was that we went from the. So I remember in '74 when we first opened the first theater we owned. It was arc. Then we moved to a xenon lamp.
Okay.
Then we moved from reels to platter systems.
I see the platter system, but wind off one and come back around and then wind back on the other, and you splice it all together, and there's no splicing. So you get your film, you'd unload it, you'd run it, you splice it all together, and put it on your platter.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we went from that to digital projectors. So I've seen. Technically, this year is 50 years that I'm that my family's in the business, and so I've seen the welders' rods, I've seen the xenon lamps, and actually, the joke was that I always felt that the xenon lamps were more dangerous
than the carbon arc.
Yeah, because the problem was that when you had to change them, because they would turn black.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would get stuck because and you twisted it a bit.
Glass break and skew yourself.
If it blew up, the noise that it was like an explosion. Like I remember being deaf for almost 2 days.
No.
One of those things popped in my hand.
I was unaware of that part.
Yeah. Because there was a gas in there that when it created, because the inside of those things.
Yeah. Well, it had to be neutral to keep the exhaust away so they wouldn't melt.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that was so it was. No, I remember threading the movie and everything. So it's
but I always get a kick out of that because when you're watching, the average person I don't think sees it. No. But when you get used to seeing them 3 dots, if you're watching an old black and white, you'll see it come across there, and I kind of laugh to myself, like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Like even a lot of people don't know that now, even with a digital print, there's a number that appears every so often in the movie, but it only appears on 1 frame, so you don't notice it. But if ever you see a movie that's pirated on the internet, they can go back. The studios can go back. They know exactly at what second in the movie that number is. And they can tell
And
you
where-
that
and what
print,
theater- what
which
the-
theater was it given to.
Is that right, eh?
And they know exactly.
Interesting. It's got its own serial number to it.
Yeah, there were a lot of, but it's great. And the joke was that, you remember we were talking before how things change quicker.
Yeah.
So, 35 millimeter projectors lasted for 100 years. We then went to digital. The first generation digital projectors from 2015 are obsolete as of now. You can't use those anymore. The studios will not give you a picture because the encryption codes aren't the same, the quality is. And so now we're forced to change these projectors every 10, 15 years. It's insane. And all of it because they wanted to make the production side of it cheaper. Right? Because try to imagine how labor intensive it was to do post-production after you filmed all kinds of footage, cut on the floor.
Well, I tell you what, as the song goes, on the cutting room floor.
That's right. There's no more cutting room floor. Now it's the computer.
That person wouldn't have to be, don't even know what a cutting room floor is. Yeah.
It's,
Big pile of film, stamp.
Yeah.
Put her in there,
Yeah.
bang.
And we used to have, I remember we used to have a splicer.
Well, there's a splicer. You put it in there, give it a hit, cut it.
Yeah.
Put the other one there, give it a hit, and then put your piece on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, like I said, there's a lot of changes, that occurred. But it was just, so I have to believe then there was no theater in your town, right? If you didn't
There
have
was.
There was?
And theater was, that's where I seen all this stuff at.
Right.
In Fort St. John there was. It was called the Lido Theater, and I do believe it was there since the 60s.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
One screen.
Big one, yes.
One huge ass screen.
Yeah, and that's where I seen the Carbon Arc and the other town close by, Taylor, BC. They had an old theater there that was closed for probably 30 years. And they had the big Carbon Arc, like big lights like this with the Carbon Arcs in them. I was pretty young when it was
So
up there.
the theater that's closest here to my house.
But that's the one that had the platters.
Yeah.
I seen the platters. It had the platters in it.
So the theater that's closest to my house here, the Terrebonne Theater that we have, we put in that theater, we put glass in the lobby area, in the projection room. It was the first time people could see a projector. People didn't know what a projector looked like.
Interesting.
So in 1991, and then we did the same thing with the IMAX auditoriums in our Dollard location. If you go into the IMAX auditorium, when you look up at the back, the whole wall, the front wall that's facing, I guess, the screen, is all glass. So you see the two IMAX projectors and how big they are, and everything. Just to show people this is what the movie business is. It's not, like I remember sometimes, something would happen. They say, can't you just rewind it? No, it's not a DVD here, man. It's not like, it's just a 35 millimeter film. I can't rewind that.
How many feet of film on a 2-hour movie?
So I think it's 16 frames per second, isn't it? Or 32 frames per second? No, high.
24.
Well, back in the day, it would probably be 16 probably, or maybe 32.
Yeah, 16, and then they did the high, and then the high, no. The 24, isn't that the high film rate?
I'm not sure. I just know we film at 24 frames per second. So
Okay, so that's 24 frames per second. That's right. So that means that you have 24 inches, because every frame is an inch roughly, per second. So you got 2 feet per second. So you figure out how many feet you have in a 2-hour movie. So when we played movies like Once Upon a Time in America, 3.5 hours, or the 6-hour version, it was on 2 platters.
Yes.
You had to have an intermission because there's not one single platter that can take the
all
whole
I
6 hours.
remember is my friend used to run it, and every once in a while he'd have a fuck up, and there would look like a bird's nest. There was stuff everywhere up there till he got it whacked and shut down.
Yeah, and the big problem was that because the studios wanted to recycle the prints. So let's say I played the movie and then it would go into the suburb theaters further away, weeks later. The petroleum prints would scratch. And then you'd see these green lines.
Yes.
So they did them out of nylon. The problem now was that if ever you had a problem between the platter and the projector, right? When it was in petroleum film, it would just break.
This was stretch.
No, it would just break.
Okay.
And then everything, so then you have an automation system, everything stopped, you ran upstairs, what the hell just happened, whatever. Right? Back in the days, when you had the arch, you had to have the projectionist sleep there almost, next to the movie, because in case there was a fire, right? The minute they did the nylon, it's unbreakable. Now you would end up with an automation system blocking everything, and then all of a sudden, your whole platter system was tilted on the floor because it literally
I tell you
pulled
what,
and it just dragged
I
it
tell you
along.
what,
It's insane.
A mess, like I say.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's interesting. But people,
We were actually, my dad, a lot of people don't even know this, but my dad, to get copies, you know, sometimes, so what happens is, there was a bit of a monopoly, duopoly, whatever you want to call it, between the old Odeon and United Theaters, right? They would control the market. So for us to play a print, sometimes what we would do is we would make a deal with the studios and play the print that would normally play at 11 o'clock at night at a drive-in. We would play during the day
and give it to them
and
back
then
to
give
them.
it back to them, right?
Yeah.
So now we have to bring it to them because we couldn't unmount the whole
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
in reels, right? So we had to
Did-
bring a
did the
whole
platter.
So my dad learned how to do a whole, like with a plexiglass, would slide it under the platter, could lift the plexiglass, we'd put it in a pickup, cover it, bring it to the drive-in, and we would go around with the movie, and then we would tape it in 5 areas so that it wouldn't move. It was like insane. Like some of the things my dad did, and I had to do as a kid, it was unbelievable. Like unbelievable. Like it's
But
like,
you had running water.
yeah. Yeah. A lot of running water too. Yeah. When you grow up that way, that's the way.
You don't know any better though.
That's right.
It's just, you don't know any better. You don't have it, because half your friends the same way. Like they say, I think it's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's normality, right? It's their normality. Like, even my father will go back and try and say things, and that's a piece of art. Even that's recycled pieces that they made. I forget what the artist is. And everything.
Okay. Anyways,
Thanks for coming by, my friend.
It was
I'll
an
come and
absolute
see you in the next few
You
weeks.
come and see me.
All right, I
It was
will.
an absolute pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, I'll bring the kids.
Bring
I'll bring
them.
the kids, and then we'll go see Manjeet at the brewery and
Right.
get yourself some custom made your own brand vodka.
I got the bottles made. I had them
Right.
made at one of the bottling companies, and then they had no glass. Oh, you know what? I had a very interesting idea of putting rust flakes in it or a piece of auto body parts in the drink. You know what?
Within the glass.
Within the glass,
Right.
or in the drink itself, or brewed with a piece of fender in the vat. You throw a car fender in there. You brew it with a 69 Camaro fender or whatever you may be. And I'll tell you what else. I actually hold a patent for putting pieces inside the brewery, inside the glass. But I never did that.
That's like the gold flakes.
Yes.
Only the gold flakes are edible. I don't know if the fender's edible.
Yeah. Only if you chew real hard.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact of it. By putting the fender in there, you could buy a Chrysler or a Chrysler Dodge, Ford, Mercury, whatever, brewed with a Mercury fender, 69 Camaro vodka brewed with a fender, and a piece of it possibly in the drink.
You know who did something crazy like that, but it wasn't with alcohol. There's a guy in Italy called Silvio Lattanzi, I think his name is, and he makes custom shoes. And he would sell these shoes like 20 grand or something. So he would make you a pair of custom shoes, and then he would bury them in God knows what special earth in some part of Italy and whatever. And he would do something to the leather, and then he would repolish it, and you had a special patina on the shoe, made it unique.
You walk around a cow all day
I don't know.
and puff it up. But anyways, that's my drinks that I had for doing some ideas
Right.
for this stuff. To brew it with a fender, to take a little bit of the kick out of it, put some stuff in the bottle.
Are you a vodka drinker?
I drink vodka, yes, every once in a while. But again, I got another idea too that it's a Swedish vodka. This vodka that I have,
Right.
It's got a very interesting taste to it. It's very, very, very clean.
Right.
And they went about it doing it in a very interesting way. They put a charcoal filter in it inside the bottle.
Right.
So when you use the bottle back and forth, the charcoal filter filters it. When you pour it out, it goes through the charcoal filter.
So I can tell you this. I don't know the process, but I can tell you that Manjeet's and Ravinder's vodka in the industry is known as the purest vodka of the whole industry. Like, in fact, there's competitors who want her to bottle their vodka.
Well, it's their still that they use.
Yeah, it's a technique they use.
Well, I'll
something.
tell you what, that's something I know quite a bit about is distillation.
Right.
Took 3 years of it in school in the
Right.
for the oil industry, for distillation, pack towers, whatever,
Right.
bubble tower, pack tower, whatever, contactor tower, same difference, all the same
Yeah.
thing. But
But there's something that that they do that makes their vodka base the best. So if you want to do coolers, their vodka base for those coolers is the best.
It doesn't matter what the vodka, it doesn't matter what the base is. It's the process it goes through to make it.
No, I understand. I'm telling you about the final product, the base,
I
the
tell you
vodka
what,
base.
They probably
is-
wash it. They probably, if you ask her, they
Right.
probably wash
Don't
it.
tell me.
Well, I'm telling you right now, she probably washes it in charcoal, or lets it sit in charcoal, and
Alright.
washes it in charcoal, and that gives you. This vodka has almost sort of almost a sweet taste to it, almost when you drink
Right.
it. Yeah. You know what? We live in the houseboat capital of Canada.
Houseboat.
Houseboat, yes, big old boat, float around out in the water on it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where you live?
No.
Well,
live
what-
on land.
Oh, because I was going to say, what happened? You had no running water, now you have to go to...
Yeah, exactly. We got a whole lake of it now.
now.
We made up for it by living on top of
I
it.
didn't know that.
We live in the houseboat capital of the world.
Now, how far do you live from Kelowna?
200 kilometers.
And that's far. No, I'm not going to go see Lane.
It's not very far.
Well-
It takes you, to drive there's an hour and a half. You know what? The houseboat capital there, they got some big houseboats there.
Right.
Like big houseboats. I don't know how many square feet they're 16 feet wide and probably 60 feet long. 3 decks on them. Absolutely wonderful.
And they move?
Yes, you go out in the water, you go
Same.
wherever you want to, you go over there area, that area over there. It's a fairly interesting. It can be as wild as you want or as calm as you want. Very interesting. Like, I mean crazy. Crazy. Or mellow.
Have to be careful, we can't make it shake.
You'll never make it shake.
Hey, look, man.
Yeah.
5 kids later.
5 kids later, I'm on my knee.
You know what I mean? I can rock somebody's world.
Exactly. Perfect.
All right, my friend. Be
Come
good. All right. Be good.
You bet.
All right.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay, we will take the extra time and go to Kelowna and see your friend.
No problem.
Okay. You know, I'll tell you what's interesting. He comes from the same beginnings as everybody else comes from, down and come up. It's interesting the stories that he has told. It's very interesting. I like him. He's a good guy.
Hopefully hang out with them a bit more.
You know, I'm hoping to hang out with him a little bit more. I think he'd be fun to hang out with and do some neat shit with. It'll be interesting.